Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first TurboNut live stream brought to you by Clona Digital and Desk Space. So, this is my first live stream. Sorry about the mess because of new normal. And today we're going to talk about one topic, which is application development, and we're going to use a tool called Qt. As you can see on Windows here, this is the logo of Qt. So what the hell is Qt? Qt is, well, before that, it's pronounced as Qt, even though it spells as Qt. It's the same as CUTE, Qt. So anyway, Qt is a development SDK. Is a whole package of libraries, tools, and integrated compiler, and many more, which you can use for developing all sorts of applications. Here is the website of Qt. You can check it out at qt.io. So you can use Qt to create application for desktop, mobile, or even embedded hardware. And there are tons of tools that you can use, like the IDE, which is the code editors, and then you have build tools like compilers, libraries, and so on. You can check it out, the website, and read all the information provided by the website. Also, I actually written some books about Qt. If you search my name on Amazon, the first two, I think, there are several books that appears on Amazon has my name on it. So this is my name, and these are the books written by me. For example, Qt 5 GUI Programming Cookbook, Hands-on GUI Programming with C++ at Qt 5. The more recent ones from 2020 and 2019, application development with Qt Creator and Qt 5 C++ GUI Programming Cookbook. If you're interested, you can check out these books written by me. Apart from Amazon, you can also go to Pack Publishing. You can search for my name as well, and you can see the books written by me. A moment. The books on PackPub is much more cheaper, I think, than Amazon. Let's see. Yes, if you buy the paperback version, is actually much more expensive on Amazon. It's cheaper on Pack, so it's up to you. Alright, let's go back to Qt website. If you want to try and develop application using Qt, you can download Qt here at the top right corner. You see the download, try, buy button. Click on it, and you will go to the Get Qt page. Don't freak out by the Buy Qt button here, because there are actually two different versions for Qt. One is the commercial license, and another one is free version, which is for open source users. You can download it for free, use it for free. This version is slightly different from the commercial versions here. The commercial license is much more feature rich. There are certain things that are not available for open source users, such as embedded devices, support for embedded devices. So let's just go to open source, because we're going to create application for desktop. You can use the open source versions to create applications for desktop as well as mobile. It's free. Go to the bottom and you will see the download the Qt Online Installer button. Click on it and it will bring you to yet another page, which is the Install Qt page. Go to the bottom and click on the download button. You will download the installer and you will install whatever components available in it, which I will not show you how because the process will take more than an hour, depending on what you download. Once you downloaded the Qt tools, which is actually called the Qt Creator, I have downloaded it, so I just open up. Qt is a very huge package. It comes with the libraries, all kind of tools like compiler, code editor, UI editor, and so on. So Qt Creator is one of the tools. It consists of both the code editor as well as the UI editor. It's integrated into one, so it's like a all-in-one thing, right? Once you open up Qt Creator, the first thing that you need to do is to create a new project. You can click on the new button located here or go to file, new file or project. We're going to use the first options. The second option is console application, which does not have any UI. This is usually for server programs, so we're not going to use this. Just go to Qt Widget application, click choose, name our project. I already created project, so you have this warning coming up. Go to next, and for the kit selection, I'll be using the default compiler. Okay, this is the minimum GNU for Windows compiler. If you have installed Microsoft Visual Studio, you'll be able to select the second options. But for me, I didn't install any of it, so I cannot select the second options. I'll just go for the first one, go to next, and finish. Like I said, I have created the project already, so this is the projects. Okay, once you created yours, you also see the same thing. On the left side, you have the project structure. If you're familiar with C++ language, you will know what is header files and what is source file. We're not going to touch the source code for now. Let's focus on the UI. Okay. Oh, by the way, the .pro is your project settings. We're also not going to touch it for now. Let's just open up main window.ui, which is the default main window for your projects, for your application. Okay, once you open it up, you will see the UI designer. Okay. In the middle, you'll see the canvas or the main windows of your program, where you can design your user interface. On the left, you will see all sort of widgets available for you. You have like buttons, you have text editors, text edits, text labels, all kinds of widgets that you can place on your canvas. On the right hand side is the structure of your UI, which is quite empty for now. At the bottom right, you will see the properties of the selected widget. Let's say I select the menu bar, you see it change to menu bar. I select the status bar, you see the properties of a status bar, and so on. Okay, quite self-explanatory. So let's think what to design, what kind of UI that we're going to design for this example. Let's see, what about if we design a login UI where you can sort of log in, input your username, your password, press the login button, and you change to another UI. Okay, don't bother about the actual login functionality. We're just going to design the UI and make it sort of functional, but not really. Okay. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to remove the status bar and menu bar. Right click on it and click remove. Remove. Okay. So in order for us to do a login UI, we actually need two user interface. Okay, two UI, because we're going to change between the login to the actual UI. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to use a stack widget over here. So stack widget is like interface which has many different pages. So you have the first page, which is a login page, and once you log in, you change to the second page, and so on. So we're going to place the stack widget into our canvas, right? So as you can see, the size is quite small and it doesn't follow the actual size of the windows. This is because we have not select a layout for the windows. I'll explain it later on, but for now, let's select the central widget and click on the layout vertically. So now you see the stack widget being resized. It will now resize according to the main window's actual size, which is good. And now you see the stack widget is available on the structure, UI structure. And you see page and page 2. This is actually two different pages. Right, we'll select the first page. You'll see what I mean later, okay? Click on the first page and let's drag some widgets. Say we need a label, text label. Double click on it and type in username. Oops. Username. And then we need a line edit for typing the username. Another label, say password, and another line edit for the password. And again, it is not laid out properly. In order for it to lay out properly, we need to click on the page and select, say okay, we'll click on here and we select layout vertically. Okay, as you can see here, the icon have changed. If you see this red circle with a cross, it means that you don't have any layout. But once you click the layout, it will become like this. The icon changes. No more red icon, okay? But now you see the problem is, even though it lays out automatically, but it's kind of wrong, right? You don't want your UI to look like this. So in order for us to optimize the layout, we go to here at the top. You see the layout widgets. You can use these layout widgets to rearrange your widgets accordingly. So it's like a layout within a layout, and so on. So let's use a form layout. since this is a form, we place a form layout in it, and we throw our widgets inside. So for a form layout, it has two different sections, one on the left, one on the right. Okay, on the left is for you to place the label, and on the right is for you to place the input widgets. So like this. Okay, and then we can do something very interesting. We can place a spacer. Here you see a spacer, horizontal spacer and vertical spacer. So spacer is something for you to like push the layout or push the widgets to one direction. Let me show you how. See, once I place a vertical spacer, it will push the entire form layout to the top, so that we can place something else at the bottom of the form. Let's say I want to put a push button here. Double click on it and change the label to login. So now we have a very simple login page. Okay, looks much better this way. Alright, so what about if I want it to be center, at the center? Okay, we just put another vertical spacer at the top. Oops, wrong. I'm actually placing the spacer inside the form layout, which I don't want it to be. This is wrong. I want it to be at the top here. Okay, so like I said, it pushes the entire layout, so pushes the entire widgets according to the direction of it. So now we see the entire login UI is being pushed to the center because we have one at the top and one spacer at the bottom. Okay, so this is how it works. So we still feel like this is a very weird, very awkward user interface, because you see the input is so long. We don't want it to look like that. Okay, so what you can do is we place another layout. Let's say a vertical layout. No. Yes, a vertical layout. I'll put the bottom widgets 50 so that I can place stuff into the layout. At the moment it's being if you see what I mean, if I put it as the default 0, you cannot place anything inside the layout, right? So let's put some value here so that I can at least I have some space for me to drag something in. So let's drag this thing inside the entire form layout, inside the vertical spacer, the vertical layout, and I place the login button as well. I place everything inside. Maybe I'll put the top margin slightly bigger, and I can do like this. Once I put everything inside, I will just turn it back to 0. Okay, what I'm doing now is actually I want to change the layout direction of the first page to something else. I want it to be horizontal instead of vertical, which is why I don't want to destroy the layout which I have created just now. So I create a separate layout, vertical layout, so that I can change this to horizontal. You don't see any difference, isn't it? But once I place a horizontal spacer here, you know what I mean. Okay, let me explain the whole thing. So originally I was creating a vertical layout for my first page, but I realized that I want my entire thing to be at the middle of the page. So here I change it to horizontal, but I place a vertical layout within the horizontal layout, so that I can push my login form to the center from all directions. Right? You can horizontally, vertically push it to the center. So to better understand this, let's take a look at the structure here. The stat widget first page. The first page is now a horizontal layout. Horizontal, so we can push it. We can push it horizontally. These are the spacer. And then we have a vertical layout, which we use to arrange the button and the login forms. And within this vertical layout, we also want to place our form in it. So we have a form layout within the vertical layout. I hope this is not too confusing. Okay. I will release the source file for you to take a look if you are confusing. Okay, let's proceed. Save first. Make the window slightly smaller. You see, it looks really nice, right? So now actually you can compile it and run the program to see how it looks like. So at the bottom left, you have a run button here. Just click on it, wait for a second, and you will see the windows coming up really nicely. This is really nice, isn't it? You have the forms, and if I resize it, oops, it still look really nice. It is still at the center. I can type something. I can click on the login button, but it does nothing for now. The password input form does not display the what we call that, the password symbols. We can change it later on. Let's go back to here and select the password input field. At the bottom, you see one of the properties that says echo mode. By default, it's normal. Normal means whatever that you type, it will display accordingly. But if I change it to password, okay, echo mode change to password, run it, and now if I type on the password input field, you will see the dots, which is the password characters. This is used to hide the password from people around you. If someone is standing beside you, you don't want that person to look at your password, isn't it? So this is nice. So next, what we're going to do is to design the second user interface, the second page, which is a lot simpler. Let's place two buttons, place maybe a label, and then change the layout of the page to, I think we just go for layout vertically, and then some spacer to push it maybe like this. Okay, so we have sample text. So we have a text in the middle. Let's make it align horizontally, but to the center. Okay, we change the horizontal alignment to align horizontal center. So now it looks something like this. Okay, it's in the middle. And for the buttons, we want to change it one to change label text. Another one is maybe show message box. Okay, this is a very simple one. So let me recap. We have page 1, looks like this, a login form, and page 2, something like this. Okay, let's save. If we run it again, you don't actually see much difference. Okay, you can type, but you click on the login button, nothing happens. Okay, because we haven't write the code yet. So before we start writing the code, let's rename some of these widgets. This one we rename it to input user. The second one we put it input password, input pass. And this one login button. Go to the next page. This we put sample text. This change text button. And this one show message box button. Alright. The naming is very important because we're going to use the name in the code in a moment. So make sure that the names are the widgets are being named correctly. If you change the name afterwards, after you have written the code, you will have some problems. You will not be able to find the widgets. So you will get some errors and you have to change the code again later on. So we give it a name first and go to the code later on. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to do the login. Okay, login functionalities. Go to page 1, right click on the buttons and select go to slots. Here you will see a bunch of signals. So this is a very unique mechanism called signal and slot mechanism, which is unique to Qt. There are similar mechanism in some other UI engines, but for Qt, it's called signal and slot. So a signal is something that being emitted when certain event happen. Let's say button click. Okay, when you click the button, it will emit the built-in signal called click, and also some other different signals like press, release, toggle. Right, you want to be very specific. For now, we just select click, and then once you click the OK button, you open up the source code and it actually created a function for you called onLogin button click. This is called a slot. A slot is a function which gets triggered when a signal emitted. Okay, these are the code added for you by Qt Creator. Go to the header file. You also see it being added for you here. So when the click button, when the button is being clicked and the click signal is being emitted, it will automatically launch this particular function. So whatever that you type inside these functions, it will be triggered when the button is being clicked. Okay. So what happens when the login button is being clicked? So you want to get the username and the password, right? So go back here, we want to get the username first. So in order to access to the widgets which we have designed now, we type in the UI objects, and we can directly access to all the widgets in the main windows. Let's say, before that we have to run the QMac first. Since we have renamed all the widgets just now, we have to run QMac for one time so that the ID gets updated, or the information gets updated. Okay, once it's done, we should be able to access the let's see, input user. It still cannot access, but never mind. Get checks. Let's build it one time and see any error comes up. Yeah, now it comes up. You have to build it once. I don't know why. In the older version, it doesn't work this way. In the older version of Cube Creator, it automatically refresh everything. Never mind. Let's build it. See anything happens. So there's no error, which is good, which means that the code is actually working. So we call the text function from our input user line edit, and which means we can get the whatever text that we have typed in to the input fields, and we store it inside the username string, which is QString class. We want to do the same for password. So in order for us to display whatever data that we've saved and see whether any problem occur or not, we can use the QDebug. If you're familiar with cin and cout in C++, this is quite similar, but this is the Cube built-in functions. Well, you have an arrow here. Okay, I think I haven't include the QDebug header. Okay, there are a bunch of different classes that you can include for your Qt application. There are many different libraries that you can include. You can check out the documentation online. I'm not going to discuss it here because there are too many of them. So for example, I'm using the QDebug classes here, so I have to include it first before I can use it. Once I include it, the arrow should be gone by now. Okay, so let's build it again and run it. Okay, now if we type anything here, say test 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 and we click login, you see the data being displayed over here. So it's working now. Very interesting, isn't it? It's actually not that difficult. It's quite easy. It's just that you have to familiarize yourself with the C++ syntax and learn how Qt works, right? You have to learn some of the classes like QDebug, which I show here. But never mind, we go slowly. So once this is done, let's do a dummy login. Okay, dummy login function. Say if username equals to admin, right? And the password equals to say 12345, which is very secure. Then we will change our stat widget to the second page. So in order to do that, let's go to UI stat widgets, which is the name of the widgets here, stat widgets. If we rename it, you have to specify it in the code as well. Stat widget and set current index to 1, which is second page. First page starts with 0, okay? Else, we'll use another Qt class called QMessageBox. Oops, we have to include the header first. We have to include QMessageBox. Okay. So we call the warning function from QMessageBox class. The parent is this, which is main windows. Title, wrong, no, invalid login. And text, wrong username or password. Okay, so let me recap. First, we get the username and password from the input fields, and then we compare it. If the username is admin and the password is 12345, then we change to second page. Otherwise, show a invalid login message box. Okay, so let's compile it and see what happened. First, we simply type something, see if it works. The message box actually appears, but apparently the streaming software does not pick it up. Let's try and see if I can capture the windows, the message box. Yeah, this is actually the message box. It does appear, but I have to capture the windows from the streaming software. So anyway, it works, and let's try it out. Another one. Let's try the actual username and password and click login. Yay, it works. It changed to the second page, and this is all good and dandy. Let's write a code for the second page. Now, oh, there's a show message box again. I think I will just skip this and maybe just because we cannot show the message box on the streaming software, so let's change this to something else. Say, or should I change this? Show message box. change button text. What about that? Change button text. Button. Whatever. So I have renamed the label as well as the button name. Then go to right click the first button and go to slots, click, and a new slot function will be created for you. Alright, and then the first button is change label text. So we want to change the text of this sample text to something else. UI.sample text.set text. What we want to change? We want to change to OMG text change. Let's try it out. Okay, so admin 1 2 3 4 5 login. So for now it's called sample text. But once we click on the button, OMG text change, yeah! Alright, it works. So we go for the second button, right click, go to slots, click. Okay, since we want to change the text of this button, change itself, we copy the name and UI change button text button dot set text to new button text. Okay, I know it's silly, but let's try it out and see. Admin 1 2 3 4 5 and change button text, new button text. Yeah, it works. The first button works as well. So that's it, my friend. We have successfully created a working, functional PC application using Qt and C++ language. Even though nothing much, just some very simple stuff, but hopefully you have learned something and you can create your own application from scratch. Play around with it and see what you can come up with. So that's all for today. Sorry if I'm not doing very well because this is my first live stream, but hopefully I can improve myself over time, and also hopefully we can come up with more interesting topics, and maybe I will invite some of the people from the game industry, from the software industry, from the IT industry to discuss about certain topics. Hopefully I can find someone for that. And I'll also be doing some tutorials, more and more tutorials related to programming, application programming, game programming, maybe some 3D modeling and stuff like that. Hopefully we can all learn together and we can share things, share information with each other, and hopefully we all can improve ourselves together. Alright, so that's all for today. Thank you for your time, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow my channel, TurboNut. And go Turbo, go nuts. Thank you very much. See you again next time. Bye bye.